Ever wonder what World War II was really like for the soldiers on the ground? Not the Hollywood glamour, but the gritty day-to-day survival. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most personal and powerful war films ever made, Samuel Fuller's 1980 masterpiece, The Big Red One. This isn't just another war movie. It's a semi-autobiographical account from a man who lived it, a director who served in the very unit the film is named after. The story follows a grizzled, cigar-chomping sergeant, played by the legendary Lee Marvin, and his 4 corps riflemen, his 4 horsemen. We have Zob, the aspiring writer and Fuller's own stand-in. Vinci, the street-smart Italian-American. Johnson, the simple farm boy. And Griff, the sharpshooter haunted by his inability to kill. These aren't super soldiers. They're just young men trying to stay alive, led by a sergeant who has seen it all before, having fought in World War I as well. The film's structure is unique. It's not about one single, epic battle. Instead, it's a series of episodic vignettes tracing the 1st Infantry Division, the Big Red One from their landing in North Africa through Sicily D-Day at Omaha Beach, the fields of France and Belgium, and finally deep into the heart of Germany. Each episode is a snapshot of war's absurdity, brutality, and occasional strange moments of humanity. Our journey begins in 1942 in French North Africa. The squad is green, and the reality of combat hits them hard. The sergeant's first lesson to his men isn't about glory, but survival. His mantra is simple: we don't murder, we kill. The only glory in war is surviving. This sets the tone for the entire film. They're not fighting for flags or ideals in the abstract. They're fighting for the man next to them, fighting to see the next sunrise. From the deserts of Africa, we move to the campaign in Sicily. Here, the squad experiences the surreal nature of war. In one memorable scene, they stumble upon a beautiful Italian wedding party right in the middle of a war zone. The soldiers, exhausted and grimy, are invited to join the celebration, a brief, dreamlike escape from the constant threat of death. It's a classic Fuller moment, highlighting the bizarre contrasts of life during wartime. Then comes the centerpiece of the film, the D-Day landing on Omaha Beach. Fuller doesn't show us the grand strategy or the generals in their tents. He puts us right on the beach in the water with the soldiers. The chaos is overwhelming. Men are cut down before they even leave the landing craft. The sergeant, using a Bangalore torpedo to clear a path through the barbed wire, becomes a symbol of relentless forward momentum. Survival is measured in inches and seconds. It's a harrowing, visceral sequence that shows the sheer, bloody cost of taking that beachhead. As the Big Red One pushes inland through France and Belgium, the episodic nature continues. We see them liberate a French town, only to have a sniper pin them down from a clock tower. In Belgium, they take shelter in a mental asylum that has been bombed open. The patients wander freely among the soldiers, blurring the lines between the sane who are fighting a mad war and the mad who are living in a world of their own. It's a haunting, allegorical scene that questions the very sanity of warfare itself. One of the most poignant character arcs is that of Griff, the sharpshooter who can't bring himself to kill a man face to face. He's deadly from a distance, but the personal act of taking a life paralyzes him. This internal conflict eats away at him throughout the film, showing that the psychological wounds of war are just as devastating as the physical ones. The sergeant, understanding this, tries to protect him, but knows that in war, every soldier will eventually face their breaking point. The film's climax takes place in Czechoslovakia at the end of the war. The squad discovers a concentration camp, Wachau. This is the moment where the true horror of what they've been fighting against becomes terrifyingly clear. Up until this point, the enemy has been a faceless soldier in a different uniform. Now they are confronted with the systematic evil of the Nazi regime. Fuller, who was actually there to liberate Wachau, films this with a stark, documentary-like realism. There's no grand speech, only the silent, hollow-eyed stares of the survivors and the dawning horror on the soldiers' faces. It's one of the most powerful and gut-wrenching scenes in cinema history. In the final moments of the film, the war is officially over. The squad encounters a German soldier, a young man who mirrors their own exhaustion and youth. He's a horseman just like them. The sergeant, who has spent years killing, now finds himself in a position where he must prevent his own men from committing one last senseless act of violence. In a deeply ironic twist, the sergeant ends up saving the life of his German counterpart, The very same man he tried to kill in the opening scene, which we now realize was a flash forward. The movie ends where it began, with the sergeant and his surviving horsemen. They have crossed Europe, leaving a trail of death and destruction, but they have also held on to a sliver of their humanity. Zab, the writer, has filled his notebook with their story. They survived. That was their only victory. What makes The Big Red One so timeless is its focus on the grunt's eye view. It strips away the patriotism and propaganda, leaving only the raw human experience. Lee Marvin's performance is iconic. His sergeant is a father figure, a hardened killer, and a protector all at once. He embodies the paradox of a good man forced to do terrible things to keep his kids alive. Samuel Fuller waited over 30 years to tell this story, and you can feel the weight of his personal experience in every frame. The version we have today, the reconstruction, released in 2004, is closer to his original vision, with over 40 minutes of restored footage that adds even more depth to the characters and their journey. The Big Red One is more than just a movie. It's a testament. It's a tribute to the soldiers of the 1st Infantry Division and to everyone who endures the unendurable in war. It reminds us that behind every statistic and every headline, there are individual human beings just trying to survive. It's a brutal, honest, and ultimately profound film that everyone should see. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this deep dive, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe for more film analysis, and let me know in the comments what you think of The Big Red One. See you next time.